Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to Austria. Hello there.
This,
Here one.
hello.
Welcome to Austria. Hello there. Here
First,
one.
is this the first sprint
Welcome
we have
to Austria.
in this tier so far?
Hello
Is that
there.
the
Here
first?
one. It is for this season, yeah. The first of many sprints for this season. Here it is then.
If people decide to join, that'd be nice. Apparently you're echoing, by the way.
Nice.
Apparently it sounds a bit poo. If we could get started, that would be nice. This game's taking a while.
Wait. I know I was echoing. I was listening to the stream back myself to see if it was all correct.
Oh, you
Hopefully there's no
donkey!
echo anymore.
You donkey!
Yep, the
Right,
sprint
here we go. On the
pulling
formation.
away.
This is a reverse
Oh,
championship order, so
the warm-up. Wow.
hopefully we can see a bit of a on-track racing here. So grid line down for the sprint starts with Julian in pole with Fiat M1 P2 for the Williams. Nico starts P3, same place he did a race or two ago, I think. Andrew P4 for the Aston Martin with Misty P5 for the Red Bull. Rulatorn in the Alpine P6 with Splunk behind him, followed by the next Red Bull of Davidus. Bloodshep is the first of two McLarens, followed by Bog in P10, who is definitely one of the favourites for the championship at the minute. Hugo P11 for Alfa Romeo, with the other Ferrari of Skillerseb in P12. Cody Mitchell for Haas, place 13, first race in Tier 1 for him, with Engine in the Le Merc for this one race. He's usually a Tier 2 driver for Ferrari. He is on loan today. Captain Kami in the second McLaren, with Faxley the first and the second, Aston on track. So as we get to the grid today, who are you predicting will take this one in the sprint? It is 8 points for first place, down to 1 for 8th. So who do you think will get the most points today?
I feel like probably Rulaton or Splunks, to be honest. Now, drivers at the front are those at the back of the championship. It's reverse grid order for this short sprint, which means the drivers at the back have got a lot of work to do, but they are the faster drivers overall.
Maybe we can see some last the first shenanigans as we do go 5 red lights. And we're underway here.
And
And we have
Boggin's
one
got a jump start
jump start.
immediately.
That's not good for him. There's one
Red
Red
Bull
Bull
into
off
the
track
wall.
already.
Misty down into P16. He's got damage.
Julian's got a clear lead here over the first Haas of Nifo, who's taken P2. Fear M1 all the way down to P5 so far. Not looking good for him.
Almost Splunks hitting the back of the Williams, and there's contact. Hugo, Skiller Seb, touch, Skiller's spun round.
So Nifo pulling up a good fight here, P2, with Andrew right behind him. Can they get some battling on? Rulatorn is right behind that Aston Martin though. Will they swap around? Fear M1 and Bloodshep on a great move here. Bloodshep nearly has to go wide there. With the Red Bull and the
Sensational.
Ferrari behind them. Davidus and Boggin close here, coming into the next turn. Turn 9, sorry. Bloodshep, oh, he's binned it on that turn. That
Bloodshed
sends Boggin to
into the
P6.
wall.
David, yeah, That's a
He
huge
could be out of
mistake
this race,
from
as his
the driver.
teammate almost hits him as well.
Both McLarens into the pits already then. We do have a mandatory pit stop on this 25% race. So will they take that onto the hards then and go all race maybe?
I can see them
Mullatorn
going
and
all the way
Nico.
to the end. Cammy's
Mullatorn and
pitting for
Andrew.
softs, by the looks of
Well, I
it.
think that might not be the best move. I don't think. We do have another Red Bull in the pit though. I wonder how Boggin's going to play this with the drive-through, because that's really awkward getting that at the start.
That will be possibly the end of his race with a drive-through.
So far, we do have the big winner in engine up to P8 from near the back of the grid there, up 6 places. Misty down 10 from the start, started in P5 of course. Boggin does pit on lap 2 for that drive-through penalty, and Julian's just 5/10 away from Nifo though. Nifo's getting closer and closer here. Will Nifo be able to make a move into turn 3?
As
Does have
DRS
the
gets
DRS, of course.
enabled, DRS
That
extremely
5/10 is going
strong
down. 2
in
tenths.
this track.
Will he make a move? As he does, and
He's
Nifo.
going to go down the inside.
Oh,
But Julian
switchback.
hangs it around the outside.
What a move by the Mercedes, who's now got the DRS, which means Nifo's going to struggle here.
Can't get it down into the following turn. There's a 3-way scrap between Engine, Splunks, and Davidus slowly coming into the mix here. And it looks like Splunks has only just won out, but it is extremely close between the 3 of them. As Faxi goes down the inside of Hugo.
Oh, what a move.
Hugo unable to respond in the following turn, despite having the racing line.
So we do have quite a lot of DRS trains beginning to form. We do have
Engine
Splunks.
going around Splunks.
Oh, and Engine's
Oh,
binned
but
it.
Engine's round.
Splunks on P6, then
Unfortunate.
David right back over. Will David just make the move going into turn 3? He's on the left-hand side, so Splunks does have the inside, but David has made the move just that little bit too early. And the switchback is made by Splunks.
Looking for the
Now,
traction,
he
but
does have
Splunks has got DRS.
Davidus does have the better traction though. Goes on the left side. Who will make the move? Splunk stays ahead for the time being. Cody Mitchell's trying to get involved in this.
Faxi
He's just looking
going
right this
down the
time.
inside of Hugo. But
Aston
Hugo
Martin
is...
versus the Alpha.
Oh, he's going to back out into the following turn. Not risk it there. Makes them live for another day. As
We have
Cody
our first
gets
time.
3 seconds.
Fastest lap goes to Nifo with a 1:05.5. He's only 2 tenths off the back of that Mercedes now. Julian has lost that fastest lap award, and this is going to be an easy overtake for the Haas. Makes it way before that turn 3 there they did on the previous lap. And Julian's just going to have to fight him for this one. He's right up the rear end of that Haas. As they go down towards turn 4, Nifo's side to side here, making sure his car is as wide as possible going into the braking zone. And he's just going to hold him off for the time being. Nifo looking in prime position to take the sprint race victory and that 8 points. Looking reasonably fast here, to be fair. Engine and Skillaseb, the next battle on track. Ferrari and Red Bull.
Light contact on the exit.
Side by side, less than a tenth between them.
Already,
And,
Nifo's got half a second gap.
Will he get that 1 second gap before any major DRS play? He doesn't, so Julian will just get closer and closer as the time goes on. Down to 3 tenths here before the DRS of the second straight. Nifo just moves to the left, making sure he doesn't get that slipstream. Julian looks towards the inside but doesn't make the move. And Nifo will just hold on for the time being. We do have a lot of these battles going on here as Davidus and Splunks. Splunks on the inside, gets better traction. I wonder which one will get better off here again. Splunks doesn't have
Without
the
DRS though.
The inside line.
Davidus
And
looking for the outside.
gets it done.
Manages to brake later and just sweep around. Meanwhile, Woolerton and Andrew are going at it. Only just a tenth between the two. Pulling away from Fulan. I think that's how you say it. As Faxi gets a 3-second time penalty.
Woolerton is 3 tenths or so off the back of Andrew here, 1.5 tenths. Now there's going to be a fierce battle for the last place on that podium in this sprint race. Bogging back into the pits again. Wonder if that's for damage reasons.
Potentially
He's on the
so.
soft side, to be fair. He's probably going to pit onto the mediums. Might see a few more people follow him. Hugo is the next one behind him. Doesn't pit though.
Julian looking for the move.
Oh, and Fear and One's on the back of these two fighting for P3 here. Rillatorn and Andrew. This is going to be a 3-way fight as we do have a Sector 3
Andrew
yellow
going
flag.
down
That's
the
one of
inside.
That's Captain Kami. I wonder what's happened there. He's just gone off a little bit there, and it is the McLarens at the back of the pack at the minute.
Just looks like they've had a very small spin from Captain Kami.
Rillatorn's pretty much pulling away here from Andrew and Fear M1. Nifo and Julian swapping places here as Nifo does come into the pit. He's first of the few leaders who does that. Going to the mediums. Probably so. I don't see any people boxing this late for the hards. If he gets a good stop here, he could undercut Julian and get a bit more of a gain.
Nifo onto the mediums. However, it looks like he's not going to come out in traffic. This could play perfectly.
Plays that really well. We do have a 3-way battle here between Davidus Splunks and Cody Mitchell.
Cody's now joined. Faxi is just sitting behind. Smallest mistake and he could come into the play soon.
Splunks is going to try and make sure force Davidus into a mistake here, and that will also give Cody Mitchell the opportunity to capitalise on that. Davidus is the first one round that corner, followed by Splunks. I wonder if any change will happen in the next lap. Gap around 3 tenths or so between them. Goes to the right hand side, looks like he's going towards the pits here. Or did he fake it?
Andrew gets a 3-second time penalty.
So we do have 2 people with DRS in this little gap of 3. Splunks just
Weaving
waving around
to get behind Davidus.
Oh, and a little bit of contact there between Splunks and Cody Mitchell. He does get a better drive though than Splunks.
Not a good exit.
Red Bull. Will we have 3 wide going into this turn? We do. Splunks is forced wide a little bit. And a little bit of contact. Cody Mitchell comes off the better of that Red Bull. Splunks takes both.
Unbelievable. And with the potential of the Haas having damage, he could hold the Red Bull up. Or not, as he just sends it down the inside.
Absolutely gone past him there. Faxi and Engine battling here. Side by side going into that turn again. Engine is the faster man on track, so he will get that overtake done relatively easy, as Faxi just has to pull away a little bit there following the dirty air of that Mercedes. Cody Mitchell and Splunks here. This is 3-way. Splunks is going to have to go into the pits though. And Cody had to follow him, and Davidus just gains that position back again. And we have 4 people in the top 5 coming into the pits now. That will send Nifo straight back up the order as he was there before. Faxi just holding him up a little bit.
On the mediums, still leading. Quite far ahead.
And Faxi picks up another penalty there for track limits.
6 seconds now.
I don't know how we had DRS on Engine there. That's a bit confusing. It seems a bit more than a second away, but apparently not. And Nifo does get the move done. Actually loses a bit of traction there. We do have 2 people who have gained 10 positions in this race. Make that 3 with Cody Mitchell, who's up to with 11 positions gained, fighting with Davidus for that P2. However, Cody has
gets it done.
Davidus has got the move done, but he hasn't pitted yet. Neither has Julian, who does come in now. This should send Cody Mitchell into the lead for now. but Nifo is going to be hot on his tail soon. Oh, and Cody Mitchell does come into the pit as well. I thought he'd already boxed, to be fair, unless he boxed earlier on for damage or something.
See where Nifo goes.
Nifo will go straight into the lead here. He's going to be clear of Julian, or maybe not. Julian, with the longer first stint, has pulled a second
He's
clear of
pulled
Nifo.
off the undercut. As Splunks gets a 3-second penalty.
We do have a yellow flag, but that is cleared rather quickly. Not a good race for McLaren, or particularly Red Bull either. Misty, Bloodshep and Captain Kami down in the bottom 3 places. That's not where you typically expect them to be, is it?
No. But at the unfortunate first lap, and with it being such a short race, they don't have much time to make up the difference of being almost a lap down.
Now gaps are starting to form as people
As Misty
in and out
almost runs into the back of Bloodshep.
That does give him a bit more of a gap between him and the McLaren though, so he's not going to be able to make a move just yet.
He'll have to wait another few laps if he wants to get anything done.
Yeah. Fastest lap, it is being traded quite a bit as well.
It is. Many different strategies going off.
There's a lot of 3-way battles going on at the minute. We've got one between Fear, Andrew and Rullatorn, and another one between Boggin, Skilletseb and Hugo. The all red battle is a little bit of a bigger gap between than the one in front. Boggin, the best of them 3 cars in the leading Ferrari.
As Andrew looks around the outside of Fullerton, has to back out ever so slightly.
And this is just going to give Fear a bit more time to shorten that gap.
Get his head in, but he doesn't want to risk it at the same time because both Andrew and Woollerton have 3-second penalties.
A bit wide there. I think Andrew might have got another warning there for track limits. Rullatorn pulled all the way to the right there to make sure Andrew didn't get that split.
As Rullatorn gets another penalty.
Penalty. This is going to be great for Fear M1. Just going to wait for.
Doesn't even have to make a move to get up 2 positions onto the podium now.
Not yet. However, if he does lose time or gain the penalty, then it could all slip away from him.
Could. He just has to stay within 3 seconds of Andrew to make this work for him.
We do have another battle between Davidos and Cody Mitchell, who got forced wide by the Red Bull there. Off track and into the wall, nearly. Wonder what happened there. We missed the start of that. Oh, and there's a Red Bull stopped on track.
Goes down the inside of Faxi, but Faxi's hanging it around the outside. Has to back off slightly. A done move for Splunks, who moves up into P12. But only the top 8 will score.
He's gone down 5 positions in this sprint, so I wonder if anyone is left to box or anything like that. I wouldn't assume so.
Let's have a quick look. It looks like all drivers have boxed. However, both McLarens can hold softs, pushing it to the end. It looks like it. As Davidos goes down the inside of Cody.
This has been going on since the start of the sprint race, pretty much. Davidos does have the DRS again. I wonder which one will be leading exit in turn 4. Cody Mitchell holds off Davidos there, making sure his car is as wide as possible. Nifo pulls off another 3-second penalty. He's got an interval of 4 seconds on the basis of Julian. Rullatorn behind him is 2.5 seconds behind, but he does have a penalty as well, so that won't have any impact. Oh, and Davidos only 2 tenths behind Cody Mitchell here. Just getting closer and closer as the laps tick down.
As Rullatorn gets another penalty, and Skilletseb as well for good luck. So almost half the drivers.
In this track, it's either you have no penalties or you have every penalty, and
yes,
that was very risky.
As Davidos goes down the inside.
Engine's just going to sit back and watch this. If any mistakes come out of these two drivers, Engine's just going to
And
take
none of
both
them
of them
have
places.
DRS?
None of them?
No, nor Davidus or Cody. One of them must have not noticed they had it.
Oh, Cody Mitchell's just lost a lot of time to Davidus there. He's now fighting Engine.
Splunks
And
going down the inside, getting the job done.
oh, and
As
Cody
Engine
Mitchell
and Cody go off.
forces the Merc a bit wide there. I wonder if that's brake issue. Doesn't look like he knows what they are, apparently.
That could incur some questionable moves from the stewards after the race.
Baton is 2 tenths behind Andrew here. He's got the DRS. He's just going to blitz by him before the straight even comes, the turn even comes. And there he goes up to P3. Baton into the podium places.
Just has to pull
3
out a
laps to go.
6-second gap to maintain that podium.
Now Engine right on the back of Cody Mitchell again. He's doing the same move that Rullaton did, just not as clean. These two
Contact between the two.
they cannot keep it out of each other's side pods, can they?
No, there must be something attractive about that Mercedes side pod.
Nice colour, to be fair.
It is quite staggering.
Cody Mitchell is the one that has the better off at the start of this.
Actually, holding it around the outside of Splunks.
Do have a yellow flag sector 2 that is cleared.
I think
Now, both of the Red Bulls
Alpha
are together.
Hugo spun. As Splunks gets spun round, going down the inside of Faxi.
That might.
They've been battling for many laps. It was definitely coming sooner or later, contact between the two. Splunks looking quite desperate to make the move stick. Faxi not wanting to give any space.
Two Ferraris are fighting quite cleanly here. Obviously, if any contact was made between them, that would be very questionable indeed.
Revan definitely would be not happy if both his drivers took each other out.
To say the least. Don't think he'd be very happy with the positions that the two Ferraris are in anyway. I wouldn't expect Boggin with P6 currently. I think he's capable of more than that. Maybe that is just the
result of the drive-through from the start.
Julian has just begun the final lap of this sprint race. Nifo 7 seconds adrift with Rullaton right behind him. This is a three-way battle that could take us to the end.
Julian just pulling out a gap like nobody else.
In a different league, really.
Pulling out the undercut and just not looking back.
Now Rullaton is looking on the back of that Haas. Will he be able to make the move done before the end of the sprint race? Is this chance or no chance? He's going to take it. Which way is he going to go, left or right? He goes to the right towards the inside. That gives him the inside line here, and he does get the move done for the time being. Nifo doesn't try to hold on for that too much longer.
Andrew spins out, and he's retired. Andrew into the wall. Wheel off and everything.
He won a few more turns and he would have made it to the end. That boosts the Ferrari
very
up to
disappointing.
P5, and then P6. David up P7.
But Julian's going to take the win in the sprint race. A dominant drive ever since that undercut. Woollerton on track P2, but after penalties P3. As Boggin gets promoted to P4.
Very exciting sprint race there. We did have a lot of on-track battles there. I wonder if we'll get any more during the race. So
I hope so.
First time in Season 4 we did have a sprint race, and these are your point givers. Julian in P1 will take the 8 points there, and the sprint race victory. Nifo P2. Fit M1 P3 at the end. Boggin P4. Rullaton P5 after incurring a lot of penalties during that sprint race. Skiller Seb, the second of two Ferraris in P6, with Davidus the lone scorer for Red Bull, and the Alfa Romeo of Hugo in P8.
What an exciting race, and that's just the pre-build-up.
We have another longer one to go now.
As the podium is gathering. Quite unfortunate for Nifo. Came close, but in the end, the undercut was too powerful from Mercedes.
So, an exciting sprint race that was. Julian taking the W there. Now we will move on to the full race now.
Apologies for the delay in starting the race. Slight technical difficulties have halted us and made us restart, hoping to get it back up in about 5–10 minutes. I don't know what's on the screen. There's not a red flag. We're back. Finally. For the
Finally,
50% race.
the
Sprint
actual.
qualifying, hectic as usual. But in the end gave us clear winners and losers. And those that definitely need to make up ground to show something in the championship.
Oh, I have a feeling I didn't turn formation lap on, but if we did, then we're fine. That's the one thing I think I forgot, but I think we might be right. Like I'm 50-50 with this. Let's hope. Let's pray that I put it on. Otherwise, my job is down the drain.
Alright.
Some people like, please, what is going on? What are we waiting for? Is
Codemasters.
Unfi in the lobby? Are we sure Unfi's not playing?
Oh, my man.
Starts in
Right.
another 30. Okay,
Jesus.
come on,
Sorry
come
this
on.
is taking so long.
We wanted to see some racing, not
Yeah.
pits.
Been live for like 30, 40 minutes probably.
10 seconds to go.
And on a
Before
starting
we are
soon
under
screen
the
for
wheel.
about 5 minutes.
Right, here we go. Okay, I did put the formation lap on. Let's go. That's what
Formation
we'd like
lap
to see.
on.
Right, okay, so we're back from the sprint race. We do have pretty much the same results from the end of that sprint race. Julian starts on pole with Nifo behind him. That's pretty much the front two. Fit M1 in P3 with Boggin, first of the Ferraris in P4. Ruddertorn, after collecting a lot of penalties at the end of that race there, up to P5, splitting the two Ferraris of Skiller Seb, with the first Red Bull of Davidas behind him, followed by the Alfa Romeo of Hugo. Has put in a good qualifying as well with Cody Mitchell from Tier 2 in P9 engine, the reserve for Ferrari, taking over Mercedes' role today in P10. Faxi, the first of two Astons in P11. Splunks, the lone AlphaTauri out there in P12, followed by the two McLarens of Bloodshep and Captain Cami P30, P14. With Misty, the second Red Bull in P15, followed by Hal Fernando, who wasn't actually in the sprint race, showing up for P16 in the second of two Alfa Romeos, followed by the second Aston Martin of Andrew, who did DNF from that sprint race and also had a three-place grid penalty on top of that. So, as we cut to Julian, he is lining up on the grid, ready for the start of this 50% race, followed by Nifo, who takes the second slot on that front row. We have a Mercedes 1, a Mercedes in 10 as well. Same with Nifo in P2 and his teammate in P9. Who will get the better start? We will have to wait and see. So, every driver is
Nifo
in spot. So,
definitely
let's see.
going to look
Let's
to
see.
try and take the turn. But we all know
Let's
how
see.
Austria turn 1 can turn out.
Yeah, with this is Swift Motorsport. Let's see how turn one goes as we go to 5 red lights. That's lights out, and away we go. Nifo
No jump start
definitely
for
got a good
Boggin this
start there.
time.
Rulleton
Boggin already
did have a good
ahead.
start as
Fair
well.
man.
And
Julian
Julian's just got
managed
a
to
bit
take
wider
it,
after the
runs
start.
wide. Nifo
Nifo's
though
taking the lead here. Boggin
gets the
right behind him,
lead.
and you have a three-way for turn one. Who's going to take it
Boggin
here?
potentially going to look down the inside.
Boggin does have a go on the inside, and the Ferrari has taken the lead going into turn 3. The Haas and the Mercedes are right behind him, though, with Rulleton in P4. This is very exciting off the start. Who will get the better drive coming into the next turn? And Boggin stays ahead just about, gets a little bit of slide there, nearly going a bit wide. The Mercedes in P2, Nifo has dropped down to P3. Rulleton is going to stay in front of the other Ferrari in P5. We do have not a lot of losers here, but Bloodshep gaining 5 positions off the first lap. That is a good lap from him. Davidas staying neutral in that P7 spot. Back to the front we go, and we have Mercedes of Julian right behind that Ferrari. Still, Nifo is a little bit closer. See who can make the turn. Going on to the second lap here. Boggin up 3 places from the start. Very good start from him. Sets the fastest lap. Of course, it is only the first lap to go. Nifo right behind that Mercedes, of course, and Faxi and Hugo battling out for P10, the last of those points paying for positions. As Engine is dropping down from the order, I wonder if he's had an issue here. If he's got
Might have
damage,
just got
maybe.
it slightly loose. But Misty, on the other hand, a very poor opening lap again. Just like in the sprint race, down into last place on the first lap.
And he's quite a way off from the rest of the pack. I don't know what
He
happened there, I
is.
didn't see it, but
There
maybe he's
was
having a
the
bit of
Alpha Aston and the Red Bull all quite a bit back, but it looks like Misty's the only one unable to catch back up.
Now this is getting very exciting up front between Nifo and Julian. P2 on the grid for Nifo. I wonder if he can take that from the pole sitter. Boggin is starting to get away as Nifo has spun.
Hugo looks down the inside. And there's Nifo on the right hand side, sorry. That is utter disappointment for Nifo.
Was hoping for a good race here. That's not what he would have wanted to have seen.
He could have clinched a podium easily. As Captain Cammy goes over the curb to get past Baxi. Definite contact between him and Engine.
Oh, three-way going into turn 3 here. Captain
Engine takes the inside line, but Hugo gets better traction. So does Cammy, even. They are side by side.
Side by side. Actually, he's going to block off the McLaren, though. He is going to have to lift a little bit of lag there from the McLaren. And Engine is going to fight with Faxi here as well. And then the Engine just pulls away from that Aston. Gets a bit of better traction, and Engine has been tapped by the
into the McLaren.
Sorry, spun into the McLaren, and he is now off track. That is P16. Andrew going up to P15 in front of him. Faxi does pick up a 3-second time penalty in the meantime. That is for track limits, though. Nothing to do with the collision there.
No,
and
that is unfortunate. It looks like the McLaren might have just got away without damage, thankfully. Unbelievably somehow, because that was quite a large hit. As Fernando goes down the inside of Cammy into turn 1, gets the move done, and also has DRS for the second straight. That means that Cammy is going to be quite a long way away when it comes to the final DRS zone.
The top 2. And Julian just breezes past Boggin there. That was a lot easier than I would have thought it would have been.
Boggin couldn't defend, clearly. Or didn't want to defend. Maybe he's playing the mind games, because he is on the soft tyres. I don't think he wants to fight and wear them off too much.
Now Bloodshep is just stonking up the pack. Already 7 places up in 4 laps. That is a good effort from the McLaren driver, his teammate down in P13 at the minute. Splunks picks up the next 3-second time penalty for track limits. David is right behind this McLaren. Nearly loses it, just a bit squabbly out of that corner. Fastest lap goes to Julian so far on those medium tyres, which is a bit of a surprise. You wouldn't have expected many people to have picked the mediums. They did have the free tyre choice though, so
they did.
Bit of a tyre variety between the pack here. Bloodshep does go a little bit wide off the exit of turn 1. David does have DRS. Who will make the move going into turn 3? Bloodshep has to move to the left. Davidus puts one up the inside and gets the move done. This battle isn't going to end there though. Bloodshep doesn't have DRS. Davidus does. Splunks is right behind them though. This might become a 3-way.
It can. Splunks is definitely on the gearbox of the Red Bull, especially into the braking zone.
Hugo and Cody switching places there, just behind them. Splunks and Davidus side by side. McLaren is the head of those two.
Cody covers off Hugo.
Davidus and Splunk side by side here. A little bit of contact between them. Oh, and they're both off the track. That's disastrous for both drivers. That's not
Davidus
what they would have wanted.
Sideways out of one of the fastest turns. Gonna have to be careful rejoining. And Splunks is off again.
Like that's not good for the AlphaTauri.
It's all got away from the AlphaTauri. A spectacular sprint race put him in a good position, but it's all got away from him.
Maybe this is just a war
Nifo back up into P10.
Good
from his spin. Could still do something.
Yeah.
Skillaseb getting past Woolerton. It's now Ferrari 2-3. and catching on Julian. Now becoming, looks like a four-way fight for the lead, potentially.
Potentially so. The two Ferraris both involved in this. That's great for the team. They're going to love this. They're not going to get too close to each other, though. I wouldn't want them to take each other out. That's not...
No, there could be a team order call just in case it gets a bit feisty and both podiums are put on the line.
A little bit fast. Yeah. Julian's going to try and hold this off for as long as possible, though, as the Alpine is getting a little bit closer to the rear wing of that Ferrari. This is becoming a very close four-way fight. This is what we like to see in Swift Motorsport. We don't see this every day.
You don't.
Oh, Rulator nearly lost it there.
He's getting slightly wide.
Maybe this is a sign
like Boggin's not using full DRS, closing it and opening it on the straight. Oh, Skiller goes deep, almost into the back of Boggin, has to go wide.
We got bumped. Oh, and there's a McLaren off. Oh, and Splunks is off as well. This is all going down this lap. Oh, and oh, this is not good for Splunks.
Coming off, Splunks like pretty much out of this race on hard tyres, looking to go to the end, perhaps. However, when he's about to be lapped, it could make it incredibly difficult for him to go any further, to be honest.
The four race leaders
hitting this lap.
Coming up with the Splunks. Oh, and Andrew is off.
Andrew's round. Off into the gravel. On the same corner where he lost it in the sprint and DNF. Cammy goes past into PV14.
Rulator past Skillerseb here. Splunks has retired. I don't think he really had anything else to show today.
No, very unfortunate. There will definitely be a large inquiry given to the stewards about the collision between him and Davidos. It might be one hectic night for the FIA.
Can't wait.
No.
Oh, Splunk may have DNF, but his AI is still out there. Unless it's driving off, what is it doing?
That could cause quite a lot of issues. Unless it's looking for a safe place to pull off, which it looks like it has. There we go. No issues, no red flags needed with that one.
And while this has been going on, Julian's picked up a 3-second time penalty.
That's
good news
not good.
And Hugo, oh sorry, not Hugo. Hal Fernando is off as well, losing 2 places. There, stays on track though, so he is back of the pack yet. Now,
Cody about to be caught by Nifon.
Sector 2 yellow flag, that is Captain Cammy again.
Round off into the gravel. For sure, gravel on his tyres.
Keeps it alive.
Which is all that is needed, because all you need is one safety car and everyone's back into play.
Oh, but it's gone wide. This DRS train is staying up a lot, I thought.
It's definitely helping them pull away from 5th place. As Nifo goes past Cody. Might have been slight team strategy there. Nifo looks like the faster man out too.
Oh, Boggin's got really wide there. That's going to help Rulaton.
Rulaton looks for it. Can't quite get it.
Boggin's just going to pull away from Rulaton. I think he slowed him down a little bit there as well. Just Boggin does stay within that 1 second DRS area.
Julian thought he'd got a lucky break there. Almost a second out.
Skillerseb is going to try and make a move on Rulaton at some point, but this DRS train is just too powerful for him.
It is.
Can't do anything as he does go a little bit wide. Had to make a quick correction there. Counter the oversteer a little bit.
Bit of a curse though, where 5th place looks to be catching almost a second on that single lap. Due to all the fighting, it could be a curse. As Hugo and Bloodshep going into turn 4, looking to make the move, but he might just be a bit far back. Couldn't quite get the traction down at turn 3.
Oh, Skillerseb's starting to struggle in his tyres. I can see this snap of oversteers. It's happening one too many times too frequently, I think.
He might have pushed a bit too far on those tyres that meant to last a while.
I don't know what's going on between these Hasses, but there's no team orders here. They keep switching positions. You wouldn't see that if it was a team order.
No. they are letting them fight. But Skidderstep runs wide on the exit of the final turn, getting very close to a penalty potentially.
We're going to be the first of the 4 leaders to take that penalty. Rulatorn, he's definitely trying to gain a few positions here. Like, he's doing really well. He's pretty fast, so
He is.
I don't think he's going to be happy with where he is, but I think he'll accept a podium come the end of the race.
It is very accepting. For only his second race as well, made his debut in Baku, of course, scoring good points there. Looking to get ahead. As Boggin, Julian getting much closer now.
Bloodshep and Hugo switching positions here. Hugo is going to have the inside line, doesn't take it though. Bloodshep just absolutely takes that position. Fear M1 is losing the competition of the front leaders. Bloodshep just a second behind him. Will he get caught up by the McLaren? Probably so, as we do come into the area where we do look to consider pit stops. It's not looking really far away.
Skillerset does get
there.
that penalty, which is detrimental considering only 2 seconds cover the top 4.
That's very detrimental for him indeed. Fear M1 is going to look at that and grin.
As Boggin potentially looks for a pit stop on his soft.
Oh, yellow flag. That is Misty. That is the Red Bull of Misty.
He's round. Front wing has survived, but
race.
no, Red Bull have had quite a disastrous weekend so far.
Oh, and Hugo nearly touching the back of that McLaren there. This has become a 3-way fight. Fear is right in this now.
It looks for disconnected or having at least connection issues. Could make his life very hard defending from Bloodshep. Looks to be keeping it done somehow. As now the gap to almost 7 seconds between 4th and 5th.
I don't know what happened to the Ferrari there. Seems to have dropped back quite a bit. 2.7 seconds. Maybe he had a bit of a lock-up or something.
Have lost it on a snap of oversteer potentially.
Yeah, snap of oversteer.
Obviously the wear on his tyres too high, but that puts him out of the DRS train.
Fear M1's looking at the back. He's looking at his rearview mirrors thinking, I'm not going to enjoy this. Bloodshep does make the move again. He does have DRS though. Both of them have DRS here. Sector 2, Sector 3, yellow flag. That is Captain Kami and Hal Fernando. This 3-way battle will continue regardless of the yellow flags. Fear M1 getting tagged by the McLaren there a little bit.
Bloodshep into the back of Fear Man.
And these two are just going to go side by side coming into this turn 4. Will Bloodshep make a move
what could
onto
possibly
the right
go wrong?
car? Keeps it on track. Both cars do. Bloodshep does cut the corner a little bit too. And does pick up a 3-second time penalty for his efforts. But the Alfa Romeo is right back into this battle, side by side, coming into this turn.
As we see Fernando taking a pit stop.
First
yellow mark mediums.
Race. So 13
serving
laps
a penalty at the same time.
Stop.
But now, is it a lap down?
He is being lapped, yeah.
That
unfortunate for him.
Means that his race is pretty much over, unless he can somehow get past.
Just Boggin, right on the side of this Mercedes here. He's going to try and make a move on the inside. Julian just hangs on there. Boggin looking a little too far away to make a move coming into turn 4. Rulatorn is right on the back of that Ferrari. He's not going to make a move though on the harder tyres though. Boggin is on the soft tyres compared to those around him who are on the mediums. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. Maybe Rulatorn and Julian go onto the hards, or maybe they do a 2-stop. Who knows? Boggin does look in a better position with his tyres though. If he can stay here with the softs, if he goes onto the mediums, that's only a 1-stop. So he won't have to think about any pit deficits. Fear M1 and Hugo, 2 seconds, 2 tenths between them, coming into lap 15. Fear M1 does need to box at some point, sooner rather than later, as Camry does come in to be that second pitter of the day. And Hugo is just going to take the left side of that Williams, using all of the track limits that he can. Brakes early. Fear M1 goes a little bit wide. Hugo just sees that and capitalises, takes DRS. And Boggin also takes the lead from Julian. But Julian just absolutely takes that turn again. And Boggin Has the DRS. Will he be patient with this move? He goes in for the rear end. That's not what he would have wanted to have seen. Now, Bloodshep has made a move on Fear as well, so he's lost 2 places in the space of this lap. This is getting quite fierce between them. There's two little battles going on here between Fear, Bloodshep, and Hugo, and also Rolatorn, Boggin, and Julian.
Well, we all know what happens when battles can just go to the tipping point. Seen it in the sprint race, multiple drivers spinning, crashing, as Fearman loses it. He's round into the gravel.
Oh, he's not going to enjoy that.
That's unfortunate.
Such a good race.
Just losing it behind Bloodshep.
First of the top 10 to come into the pit, so let's see what time he gets.
As Boggin goes for a dive down the inside of Julian, gets the move done. But Julian on the switchback, looking for it, has DRS, could potentially get it. Too far alongside to be covered off, and just goes around. Can't do anything. Can Boggin to prevent it? Woollerton just watching this battle happen in front of him, thinking, when will I be able to capitalise on this?
We know that at some points of this race, Rolatorn has been faster than that Ferrari, so if Boggin can be forced into an error by either one of the 2 cars...
Boggin's coming in for a pit stop. He's going to be coming in for his pits.
Which that's
puts Woollerton off. This is the critical moment for the Ferrari though. How fast can he be on that outlap? And for Woollerton, how fast can he be with clear air? But he is out of DRS range now.
Skillaseb is kind of close to the Rolatorn here, but
he is.
We have to
managed to pull back the deficit.
How Fernando is between them, a back marker between them. This isn't going to be good for Skillaseb, who is going to need to pass him at some point.
A snap of oversteer for Skiller, who is on low DRS, must have used a fair amount trying to catch back up. As Woollerton gets within a second of Julian.
Just briefly though. He's back into it.
Barely. He can take it, possibly. As Boggin is out of the pits on the back of a lapped McLaren. That must be Cammy. So, Fry pitting him, not into traffic. That could be something that lets him maintain P2 or possibly even take P1 during the pit stop window. As Woollerton gets unlapped by Fernando.
Ooh.
As we see a Red Bull of Misty on the exit.
Captain
very unfortunate.
Boggin there. Does set a fastest sector 3. He's looking to catch up to these leaders as soon as possible. He does have I'd say around a 15-second gap, although he has pitted, and the guys in front of him haven't. Nifo, who did have a spin at the start. He's just set the fastest lap.
He hasn't looked back, has he, since that spin?
Not really, no. He's
Depending
still 12
on
seconds.
how this plays out, could be looking for a top 5 finish. Small little battle for the final few points positions between Cody and Davidos, and Engine as well.
Davidos plays this right, he could gain 2 positions there.
He can.
I don't think any of them pitted.
3-second penalties.
Yeah, cars in front of them have 3-second penalty, and he's right there as well. Rolatorn, he's within 6/10 of Julian. I wonder if he's being slowed by Hal Fernando, but still, that's quite a gain from the Alpine driver. Could potentially challenge for the lead here. He might be looking
to overtake before the pit stops, as Andrew picks up another penalty. Still yet to pit though. Julian, Woollerton, Skillaseb, Andrew is getting to the end of those mediums life potentially. Misty is also looking on the edge of the mediums. Most of the drivers have pitted within the past 4 laps. Yeah. Only a few that haven't pitted.
It's got to be soon, surely. I think in the next 4 laps, these medium runners will begin to pit.
Yeah, most people that haven't pitted. I think it's the top 4 and Misty and Andrew, actually. Within the next 4 or 5 laps, must be looking at pitting. As Boggin slowly closes on Hugo.
How Fernando's being showed blue flags? Was not getting out of the way.
No. Though they
Speeding,
are
maybe?
ghosted somehow.
I don't know how that. Oh, he's just had a snap of oversteer there. I don't know how he's ghosted, but yeah.
That is strange.
This is good for Rullatorn. He's down to 3.5 tenths there.
It is 3.5 tenths now, and but Julian should be getting DRS from the lap marker, no? Which is strange because I haven't seen him open it unless I'm just blind. As Furman gets overtaken by Fernando. I think he might.
There. Oh, and Rullatorn comes into the pit. First of the 2 front runners on the mediums to do so. That should bring Boggin back into play.
And Skillersev follows him in. The Ferrari's covering off the undercut.
Boggin is right behind them here. He's got to come out.
He could potentially get held up, could Rullatorn in the pit stop. Doesn't look like it though.
Boggin's
on
just
to
cleared them.
Boggin though is on mediums. Rullatorn and Skillersev on softs could catch him.
Has Hugo pitted?
Hugo has not pitted, or Julian.
Julian
as Andrew comes in for his stop.
Both of them are on the mediums with a 10-second deficit between them. I wonder when Julian's going to come. He's got to be this lap, surely. He's got to cover off that undercut.
He must come in this lap to cover off the undercut. But that time behind the back marker could potentially have cost him dearly.
However,
as
that
Boggin
gap between Boggin and Rullatorn
like he's going to get past.
Now remember,
as Julian comes in.
Julian is in. Race leader is in.
Hugo's going to follow them in.
And Hugo follows them in, yep. So that takes Boggin up to P1, Rullatorn P2. If Julian can get out in the next time, he should be ahead of them.
Boggin's going to take the lead easily.
Of the race.
It could be close with Rullatorn, although by the looks of it, Rullatorn's just going to breeze past. Skillersev could also pass.
Oh, it's very close. Oh, they're side by side. Oh, he's just
on the exit. Okay, so Rullatorn into P2, managed to undercut the Mercedes, and the Ferrari is undercut as well. But with the Ferrari being on harder tyres, you got to question whether this is the right strategy call.
Now,
as Cody spins into turn 1.
Boggin is on the harder tyres, but he has that 5-second deficit, and that's gone down a second since the last lap. So, will this play in the cards of Boggin, who has 14 laps or so remaining, to keep that deficit between the 2 cars behind him down? Or will Rullatorn and Julian see that they're on softer tyres and think, I'm taking advantage of this, I want that race win? And will they go pedal to the metal on this?
As
so you have
the
a yellow flag
spins, backseat on the exit of turn 3.
Rullatorn and Julian battling for position here.
Julian's just going to breeze past.
Him.
If they're smart, they should create a mini DRS train to catch up to Boggin. Not fight each other and ruin their tyres.
These two could potentially threaten Boggin as a pair. Maybe they just want to get rid of that Ferrari win altogether.
They could. Towards the end of the race, maybe in a couple laps' time, because the lead has already gone down to a substantial amount, about 7 tenths in total.
See, Julian's probably in the best place here, as he's catching Boggin a lot faster than Rullatorn was. However, Rullatorn is right behind him and he could just follow him through. Boggin is for Ferrari, though, who are in the constructors lead, so whether or not that means... He does set a fastest lap at the time as well. So whether that means other teams are going to try and threaten that Ferrari lead so they can gain points back as well. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Julian, though, is doing all the work up out in front. His tyres will be possibly much more degraded than Rawleton's.
Peloton's just following behind him though. He's now 3 tenths
He's
adrift
enjoying
from.
this easier life.
Yeah, he's just following through, making Julian do the hard work really. He does have half of his battery left remaining though. Wonder if he'll use that to make an overtake on the end if they don't make it past Boggin. Boggin's got to be shaking though. Like that's a 4 second gap after pit stops where he pitted a lot earlier. So these tyres are actually
Yeah.
older as well.
These tyres are 5 laps older than Julian's and 4 more than Rawleton's. And
12
they
laps
are
remaining.
harder tyres.
Yeah.
So they're on the same straight as each other now. 4 seconds separates
We have a
first and
three-way
second.
battle here between Bloodshep, Nifo, and Hugo. I wonder which one will take the lead here. Bloodshep and Nifo are on harder tyres. Hugo is on newer tyres and softer tyres. He's just going to try and go around Nifo.
Gets a penalty
Hugo
for
gets a
looking
penalty
around
in
the
meantime.
outside.
Now this three-way battle isn't going to stop anytime soon. Bloodshep looks at the back of his mirrors. Nifo just pulls onto the inside there, and makes the move. Hugo had to brake a little bit earlier there to make the corner. This battle is not going to stop. Bloodshep does have the DRS and is on the outside. Hugo's going to try and make the move on Nifo. On the outside, doesn't quite get the move done. Nifo in a bit of an awkward position there. Fear M1, the back marker in the way as well. We do have a Ferrari round. Wait, which one is that?
Giller
Oh, that's Skiller Seb.
gets passed by all 3 of them.
Oh,
That
look how close
must
this battle is though.
Destroyed his softs. That could potentially cost Ferrari, who no longer has the capacity to back up Boggin. Could have potentially came in and ruined Rawleton and Julian's party.
Hey,
As Hugo looks down the inside,
he just
goes
absolutely
wide.
faking
Skiller does the same. Almost loses it.
See, I've just saw Nifo brake on the straight because I saw his DRS just deactivate itself after getting a little bit too close to Bloodshep. He could have made the move. I don't know why he didn't go for the move.
I think he was looking for the DRS on the following straight, but might have just backed off a bit too soon and too much.
Bloodshep forced wide a little bit there by Hugo. Tries to make the move on the inside, but doesn't get it done.
That is extremely close between the two.
Very close to making contact there. Nifo is right behind them, but he does have literally no battery here, so I don't think he's going to fight as hard as the 2 cars in front of him. Julian picks up another time penalty in the meantime. That is not going to be good for his race. He has on 6 seconds penalties. That is good for Boggin and good for Rawleton as well. If Bloodshep can get close enough, he can start threatening. However, that is a 14-second gap, and he does have penalties as well. Nifo is in the position with DRS here. Hugo following the slipstream of that McLaren. So
will he send it like he did the previous lap?
He doesn't.
Waiting for this straight, obviously.
Bloodshep is just going to get consumed by these 2 drivers here. As we go 3 abreast nearly. Hugo is blocked by Bloodshep. Nifo takes 2 positions on that.
Nifo takes them both. And Skiller follows through. It's a 4-way battle, both side by side.
Hugo and Skiller Seb are jostling for here. Oh, and Hugo is not going to be happy with that. Picks up 3 seconds in the meantime.
Again.
After losing 2 places on the same straight. That he's not going to be happy with.
Nifo currently in the best position, no penalties whatsoever.
Nifo's going to be enjoying this.
He will. Absolutely. And to think that he had spun round in just a few laps from the start. Undeniably quick pace round here. Meanwhile, the gap in front down to 3.1 seconds after just 2 laps. Seconds.
However, this is not good for Julian. He is going to get closer to that Ferrari, and he is going to threaten the position. Nifo is stopped on the straight there after the turn.
That was very close, looking for the move, backed out.
He nearly lost 2 positions there.
That could potentially cost Nifo big time. As Bloodshep gets suddenly a massive margin. Nifo down to... He gets a 3-second penalty for being forced wide slightly by the Ferrari. That might be contested at the end of the race on paths. But what this does mean is now Nifo's out of DRS range. Being at
Nifo
the
is
front
out
of
of
the train.
DRS range. However, Hugo is close to being out of that DRS range as well. But all of these cars are now on penalties, which means technically not a lot of this comes from on-track positioning. It comes to, well, whoever has the least penalties. And that's the same with the front runners. Julian is closer to Boggin than Rulatorn. However, Boggin and Rulatorn don't have penalties. If Rulatorn can keep it clean and get past Boggin, he will take this win. However, Boggin, if he holds on for long enough, he will take that win. Julian, pretty much out of position from this win anyway. Best he can do is P3. I don't think Julian can win this race unless the other two
Woollerton
drivers either collide or get penalties.
goes down the inside of Julian. Meanwhile, the McLaren and the Aston and the Ferrari, they aren't going to stop this battle anytime soon.
They're loving this. Hugo on the left side, Bloodshed gets threatened
Hugo
by
loses 2 positions.
Takes out the inside.
Skillerset on the outside. Hugo round the outside. He's going to look for the move. Banging wheels between the two.
Now this is getting to the point where this is a bit
Nifo is back in DRS range.
Nifo is back in DRS range. However, I don't think. Oh, he's out of it already.
Never mind.
Is the closest to Hugo. So, will we see him make a move on this straight? Rulatorn and Julian also swapping positions here. Julian probably the faster out of the two cars, but these two battling is going to make sure Boggin contains that lead. They're not any closer than they were the lap before. And Rulatorn, he needs to get past Julian if he wants to threaten that win. So far, he's currently in net.
They have to catch around half a second a lap just to be at the same kind of pace.
Free abreast going into turn 3.
Bloodshed forced wide, or goes wide.
By the two cars in front of him. Skillerset trying to make a move on Hugo here. Goes on the outside. Hugo doesn't have as fast of a car. Bloodshed gets his wheels in, takes towards the back of that Alfa Romeo.
Outside?
And Hugo is just going to hold on for the time being. This three-way battle is not going to give up until the very end.
Skillerset, though, back in P4 after his spin.
However, if we do look at penalties, Hugo is 3 seconds up from the cars around him. So, if he does want to keep his position... Oh, Bloodshed, as I say that...
Bloodshed gets a 3-second penalty. Nifo right on the box. He's going to go for the move.
He's going to make the move. Oh, and the Bloodshed does try
runs wide and has lost it.
Yeah, he was a day late and $1 short with that one. He wasn't going to make that corner.
But Bloodshed's going to come down the inside. Nifo without DRS.
He's lifting off. Nifo does get a bit squirrely out of that corner.
Yeah, Nifo lifting off to try and get DRS the next straight, but Bloodshed's just not having any of those tactics.
He's just blasted through him. Nifo fights it back though.
He's looking for it, but it's just not going to happen to him. He's going to try around the outside. He's going to go for it.
Going around the outside of turn 8 and... Yeah, turn 8 here.
Nifo holding on to that around the outside and then the inside. Is going to get the inside line. Keep position. Bloodshed.
Of that car, Skillerset picks up another 3-second penalty.
Definite contact between the two.
Definite contact. Bloodshed somehow picks up the DRS there, but Nifo is still in contention for that position. We do have a yellow flag in Sector 2. I wonder who that is.
I think it's one of the Astons.
Probably the Aston, yeah.
Hugo holding back behind Skillerset.
By Bloodshed. Oh, and he's nearly lost it. How's he kept on to that?
That
just
into the board. Stocks anybody that uses a 150 board to hit.
Picked up a 3-second penalty.
That could be the end of their race.
However, he's still in contention for that position with Julian, who does have 6 seconds. However,
but he is out of DRS range now.
He is out of DRS range. Yeah, that's not good for him. If he wants to stay close to getting that P2, he needs to get back in that DRS zone. Captain Kami picks up another 3 seconds there. Rulatorn
but that squirrely exit of turn 1 is not going to help Rulatorn at all get anywhere near.
as we cut back to Nifo and Bloodshep. Still, only 2/10 between them, just a measly 2/10.
Not much.
Not much.
But
Bloodshep trying to
they are
Nifo just going to wait for the
falling
DRS.
back from Hugo and Skiller, though.
They are falling back.
Nifo runs wide,
Nifo
gets another 3 seconds.
Now this is looking good for Davidus. If these two can, oh wait, no, Davidus is fucking miles away.
Engine, you mean? It's looking good for Engine. No, it's not. Oh, same penalties. Never mind.
So, yeah.
It's looking good for Nifo.
It's looking good for Nifo. They're all on the same amount of penalties, except for the front two and Davidus.
Yeah, somehow Davidus and P16. No penalties. Oh, and Boggin.
And Boggin.
Boggin managing to keep it clean at the front.
Yeah.
Who has managed to keep a gap between him and Julian.
Nifo is on the back of that McLaren. Davidus picks up that 3 seconds as we say that. Now we're down to just 2
Never
people.
mind.
So Hugo passes Skiller Seb here. Skiller Seb is going to be the one with the DRS on this corner. Nifo right behind that McLaren, waited for the DRS though. He's not going to be close enough to make the move. I think he's just getting a bit desperate for this move actually. Oh, and he does try and charge towards the inside here. Makes the move done. Bloodshep's going to fight it back though, as he always has. Goes a bit wide in the meantime. Cuts back onto the grass. And Nifo doesn't have DRS here. Fights towards the inside. Bloodshep makes the move again. Nifo has the inside line, but Bloodshep is going to keep the position for now. Skiller Seb. Still close to Hugo, not as close as Nifo is to Bloodshep though. And these battles have pretty much lasted all race.
Meanwhile, Boggin pulls out from Julian, who in turn is pulling out from Woolerton. That DRS train the two had is dead. No. And with it, it looks like Boggin is pretty much going to be uncontested.
We have
somehow,
2 laps
being
in this
older tyres.
Oh, making a move on the first straight. Gets past Bloodshep. Oh, and they're going to fight it. Bloodshep.
Does it go wide?
There. Bloodshep has the DRS there.
Nifo
is still fighting it. He's got no battery. How is he doing this?
Nifo extending his battery life as long as he can.
That battery is the most dead thing I've ever seen. Now, Rullatorn is pretty much...
Skiller's off!
Skiller's off.
Off. The went straight on by the looks of it. Might have had contact with Hugo. Forced him off into the gravel onto the entry of turn 4.
That brings Nifo and Bloodshep right in contention. Boggin has started the final lap though, so we will catch up with him in a second. Julian, 4 seconds adrift from him. 6 seconds penalties though. Rullatorn, 2.9 seconds though, away from Julian. If he does keep that 10th difference, he will take up that P2. But with a few more turns to go, he's up to 3
out
seconds
of it.
now.
It could be risky.
It could be risky.
With both batteries dead as well.
On the final lap as well. A lot of people on the final lap. An engine does pick up that 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
And Bloodshep and Nifo are going to fight this for the last time. Shuz Boggin though has led.
Bloodshep goes around the outside, but is off. Runs wide.
Boggin has led since the end of that pit stop phase. He comes around the final bend to win the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of everyone behind him who has penalties and 5-second gap to the nearest competitor in that Mercedes. Anyway, Rullatorn picks up P3 in the meantime.
Ever so slightly.
Only 0.06 of a second off second place. Anyway, so that will round up your top 3. Hugo comes home in P4 behind, in front of Skiller Seb, and then Bloodshep, who has Nifo right on his gearbox. Will one of them switch positions and come in onto the straight line? And Nifo gets it just on the line.
Unbelievable.
Move. What a race that was. Nifo straight at the end there takes P6.
Only just. Bloodshep must have run out of battery just on the line.
They were pretty much end to end there.
Meanwhile,
That
Andrew
was
comes home to take the final point scoring position.
good race from the Aston Martin. Did have a few errors here and there, but to take home that 10th position, that would it's better. Well, it's better than nothing. So, what an exciting Austrian Grand Prix that was.
Many battles, many controversial moments. As
Many controversial moments.
yeah, there we go.
So,
Boggin, fair winner there.
Boggin pretty much clear of the rest of the pack there, ahead of Julian, Corbussy, and Rolatorn, who round up your top three there. Julian will take the extra point for fastest lap with a 104.8. Hugo is your fourth place position there in the Alfa Romeo ahead of Skiller7 in the other Ferrari. Nifo comes home P6 at the end there, taking the move onto Bloodshep in P7. Engine for Mercedes as a reserve takes P8 ahead of Davidas in the Red Bull. P9 after starting P7. Andrew is your final points scoring position in the Aston Martin in P10. Started 17th on the grid, so not too bad at the end for him. Cody Mitchell in P11 for Haas, the second of the two. Aston Martin of Factory comes home in P12 with Captain Carmi, the second of two McLarens, in P13. Misty, the second of two Red Bulls, in P14. Fear M1, Hal Fernando, and Splunks are your last three drivers, with Splunks the only retiree from this race.
Very unfortunate retiree at that. And now it's on to post-race interviews.
Post-race interviews.
Yes.
Oh, did you screenshot leaderboard? Because I didn't do it. I
I
was about
did.
to do it.
Don't you
Okay.
worry. Alright. Who do we pull in first? Well, I guess it's got to be Boggin, hasn't it?
If he joins, yeah. Wait, where is everyone? Is anyone in there yet?
It's just
No
totally
one's in there.
joined.
Come on, guys. We need interviews. So Boggin is in the general VC, so if you want to pull him in.
Um,
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So
waste.
how did that go for you?
Uh, it was finally a race win. It was sort of a clean race. I was stuck behind Julien, or I hope that I pronounced his name correctly. Uh, yeah, Austria is such a track in this game that DRS is literally everything. So I knew that overtaking him and trying to escape, it didn't have much sense. So I pitted earlier and put on mediums, and yeah, then showed my pace. I had clear track in front of me, and that paid off. I think the gap between us was like 5 seconds
Yeah,
after
yeah.
he pitted. I knew I had the pace, just finished it, and yeah, I hadn't had much pace. I think you could see it especially in the sprint race, but in the 50% race, the Grand Prix, it was a lot better. But still, I'm not quite happy for it. But it's a race win, and that is the only thing that matters.
Yep. Congratulations on that. You're the third of three winners in this season. Are you looking to fight for the championship still?
Yeah, of course. That's my main goal.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Who would you say is your main contender for that title?
Oh, that's unusual question, I must say. But I think I have to say Jacob.
Jacob, yeah. I think
Yeah,
I agree with you on that one. Very good driver. I like him.
yeah. If he attends the races, he might be a danger. But I'll do everything to keep that spot at the top of the table. So
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Alright, well, thank you, Bogging. Congrats on the race win once again, taking that P1 for the Scuderia.
Yeah, thank you.
TP will be very proud. And I guess see you next week.
Yeah, hope to hear you again. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Right, who do we get
And
next?
I think we have P2, Julian. Yes, we do. Let's move them in. Here we go. Alright. Julian, P2. Very close. Looked like you were going to overtake Boggin near the end.
Is he here? Is this? Are we
Hello?
alright?
Hello.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh.
alright then. I guess
Alright.
not.
I guess not.
Okay. Try and bring Nefo in.
Right, give it a go.
Unless you're Matthias. Oh, hello?
Hello there.
Hello! I was, yes. I don't have to explain, because... Thank you, anyways. Yes, what do you want?
It's very up and down race from your side. Just give us a quick rundown on how you're feeling with it.
I don't feel... I mean, I did a good recovery, but I don't think that was, like, the best, you know? Because in turn 3... No, lap 3, I spun on, like, the second final lap, turn. I spun, so I go to, like, I don't know, P15 maybe? And I finished P6. Yes, I finished P6, and yeah, I feel very, you know, I feel good.
Do
But
you
I
think
think it could have been
you
better.
made the best out of a bad situation?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, there were some people that slowed me a bit down, like both of the fucking Alpha, no, Aston Martins and Hugo, which I'm gonna report the crap out of him. But yeah, I think I did like the best I could, and I think that's what matters really.
Yeah, very unfortunate. You were definitely looking for potentially even a podium after the
Yes,
sprint race.
definitely. I think the sprint race was really like it went very well. I thought it was going to be reverse grid, so I kind of panicked, but it didn't matter anyways because I was P15 by lap 3. So yes, turns out like I always do these things.
Must be the curse, surely.
Yes, I have a podium curse. Everyone
Yep.
knows that. But I am working on a potion. Hopefully it's gonna be done by next race.
You're looking to change that, are you?
Yes, I'm looking to change my ways. I'm looking to change my strategies. I want to congratulate my engineer because he really helped me get back on track and go from P15 to P6. I think he should get at least 50% of the credit.
Very sweet, very sweet. Oh, congratulations, Nefo, on that recovery. Definitely
Thank you
entertained
very
us all.
much. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
I'm gonna watch the stream later. Thank you.
see you next week.
See you. Yep. You too.
Oh, might come a bit short then. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for the Tier 1 race at Austria. Tune in for Tier 2 tomorrow at 6 p.m. GMT, where it'll probably be, I don't know, usually cleaner. It's usually a bit cleaner in Tier 2.
Yeah, bit better as well. Better racing, I think.
Yep. So we'll end it there. Hope you enjoyed, and as we said, see you either tomorrow if you're watching the Tier 2 race, or next week for the Tier 1. Goodbye.